Charlie Brown. This is another curve flattening concert. I need to retune here to see which exactly it is. I think this is number 496. We're closing in on 500. Slim Edelman is here and Warren Bendler. They're the first ones who show up on my feed. And then Margot Lemieux. Hi, Margot. So I welcome you all. We come here to worship before the altar of coffee and good fellowship. I clink you in the name of coffee and good fellowship. And dogs too. Charlie the dog is here with me. He started to act up, and then he went and got his bone, and I can't get the camera on him from here, but he's currently sleeping with his head on his bone. I see that Margot Lemieux, Debbie Moore, Dave Mason, Ann Mintz is here, Andreas Postler, and Bunny Barnes, Warren Bendler, I think I might have already said that, and Janelle, of course. So the music for today is music from kind of my set list for the Uh-Ohs, the first decade of the 21st century. And by that time, I had been mostly playing jazz and, and singing songs and stuff like that. But a lot of people who first heard me play after the 90s, never knew that I was kind of originally made my bones as a blues guitarist, and that I was a roots musician. Instead, they thought of me as a guy who played kind of jazzy stuff and swingy stuff, when in reality, I was all things to all people, except I do not play no rock and roll. And I even did at a time, played kind of country rock in a band for a while. So Judy Wong is here. Hi, Judy. Nice to see you here live and in person. David Arthur Radcliffe from the UK, and Pam Zappardino and Terry St. James, and S.A. Tudhope and Carol Pratt and Betsy McIntyre. Hi, Bets. Freezing rain and snow. Well, we're going to get some weather, I guess, but we haven't got it yet. It's like probably 50 degrees here and sunny right now. It's been really nice. So, most of the songs I do today will have a jazzy feel to them, but this first one doesn't. And it's one that I know that I learned it during the Uh-Ohs, because I first heard it down at Steve Kaufman's acoustic camp when I was first there in the late 90s, like around 98, 99. And I didn't learn it immediately, so I learned it after 2000. From the singing and pen of the late, great Kate Wolf. And I see Connie Adams is here, Leonard Augustine, Cliff Eberhardt. Hey, buddy, you're coming to my town in just a couple weeks. I might get to see you live and in person. Bobby Forrest is here from the Northwest. Margot Lemieux, I said. Warren Bendler, Betsy McIntyre. I think I said all those. So here it is. I've been walking in my sleep, counting troubles instead of counting sheep. Where the years went, I can't say. I just turned around and they had flown away. And I've been sifting through the layers of dusty books and faded papers. They tell a story I used to know, but it was one that happened so long ago. It's gone away in yesterday. Now I find myself on the mountainside, where the rivers change directions across the great divide. Now I heard the owl calling softly as the night was falling, with a question, and I replied, but she was gone across the borderline. It's gone away in yesterday. Now I find myself on the mountainside, where the rivers change directions across the Great Divide. Finest hour that I have seen is the one that lies between the edge of night and the break of day. It's when the darkness rolls away. It's gone away in yesterday. Now I find myself on the mountainside, where the rivers change directions across the Great Divide. It's gone away in yesterday. Now I find myself on the mountainside, where the rivers change directions across the Great Divide. Across the Great Divide by Kate Wolf. Let's get a little more fuel here. And I remember hearing that song down in Tennessee. A lot of the bluegrass guys would come out to Kaufman Camp at night, the local guys who didn't come to the camp. They were just local bluegrass musicians, but they'd come out to jam in the evenings when all the official activities were over. And the guys who sang, man, these guys had just kind of the classic Southern country voice. They just sang beautifully. And I remember hearing guys sing this song and thinking, not really hearing the lyrics and thinking, boy, that's a great bluegrass song. I should learn that sometime. And then when I finally listened to the lyrics, it's such a profound, deep thought that then I really knew I had to learn it. So Jack Haas is here, and Tom Albright actually here on time. Hi, Tom. Good to see you. Next thing you know, I'll have Jim Greco here, and then I'll really be surprised. So next song up is And Now for Something Completely Different. And it was written by a woman named Fran Landesman, who I believe was kind of part of the Greenwich Village beatnik movement in the 50s. And I don't know if there's a co-write on it or not. I first heard Buffy Groves sing this, and I think I learned it so I could play it with her. And then there's a bunch of lyrics, and some people don't do all of them. And if Cliff is here, he'll hate me for not doing the kind of intro to it. But so it goes. So just a great jazz tune. I think I might have also heard Bucky Pizzarelli do an instrumental version on 7-string guitar originally. Spring this year has me feeling like a horse that's never left the post. Well, I lie in my room, just staring at the ceiling. Spring can really hang you up the most. Morning's kiss wakes the trees and flowers, and to them I'd like to drink a toast. but I walk in the park just to kill the lonely hours. Spring can really hang you up the most. All afternoon, the birds twitter twit. I know the tune, this is love, this is it. I've heard it before. Don't I know the score? But I have decided that love is a bore. Love seemed sure around the new year. Now it's April, love is just a ghost. But you know spring arrived on time. But what became of you, dear? Spring can really hang you up the most. Love came my way, I thought it would last. We had our day, now it's all in the past. Spring came along, a season of song. It was filled with sweet promise, but something went wrong. Doctors once prescribed a tonic, sulfur and molasses was the dose. You know it didn't help one bit. My condition must be chronic. Spring can really hang you up the most. All alone, the party's over. Old Man Winter was a gracious host. But when you keep praying for snow to hide the clover, spring can really hang you up the most. Spring can really hang you up the most. Is that a great kind of hipster, old-fashioned hipster, not modern hipster, but kind of hipster song of anti-romance? So let's see who else is here. Let me take a minute. I see Leaves of Green. Check out Carol Ann Muller. Hi, Carol Ann. And thanks, Cliff, for never hating me. I need people who will never hate me. Steve Davidson is here. Steve DeHaas is here from Northern California. And Michael Miller from North Carolina. Lori Payne is here from Northeast Ohio, and Connie Adams from Santa Barbara, and Margot Lemieux from Massachusetts. So it is announcement time, and I'll say hello to the Invisibles, as I always do. The Invisibles are people who show up on Facebook but do not show up on my software when I do a thing. So I look back later to the comments and I see that they were there, but I don't see them right now because there's something about Facebook settings which does not send their comments to Ecamm, which is the system I use. Kit Serikaku, Kate Mack, Linda Worster, Judith Fox, Joel Biget, Bill Rubenstein, Mike Stillman, and Mario Prue, who built this beautiful guitar. And then, as always, there is right there a PayPal and Venmo link. It's up there the whole time. It's not a link. You can't actually click on it, but you can copy it down and then send some money to the Charlie the Dog Veterinary and Dog Biscuit Fund and dog training and so many other things that come up when you have a crazy dog. Somebody has to pay his Prozac bills. And I see Après Midi is here on YouTube. Hi, good to see you again. And like that. So schedule-wise, I'm on right now. Tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m., Cozy Sheridan does her wonderful stream. And Charlie Koch may be with her, but he may be out skiing. I'm not sure which. I think he had a birthday yesterday, so they may still be celebrating. Woohoo! And then I'll be back on Wednesday. Cliff Eberhardt, if you're doing any live streams, please post them here so people will know. Cliff is one of the premier songwriters of our generation, and he's currently touring with a show that they've done a few times. It was actually the last show I saw before the pandemic hit, March 8th, 2020. Cliff may remember, I saw him after the show, and they were wondering whether they were going to try to go out to Seattle. And then the next day, the country shut down. So that's Cliff Eberhardt and John Gorka, and in its current iteration, oh damn, I'm gonna blank on names. I knew these names just minutes ago, but there are two women. Is Lucy Kaplansky doing it right now? And Patty Larkin, she's the other one. So if I'm wrong, correct me, Cliff. And that's a great show if they come to your town. Cliff on his page has a list of venues they're coming to. It's like a round robin with all these guys playing their singer-songwriter masterpieces. So go see it if you can. I think that's all my announcements. Some of you may know, hey, Alex Bevan. Hi, Alex. Okay, Cliff says I am correct. So it's Lucy Kaplansky, Patty Larkin, Cliff Eberhardt, and John Gorka. So I was going to tell you, a lot of you know that I've sold off a lot of my guitars. I'm getting old. I'm almost halfway through my 8th decade on the planet. I have a birthday coming up. I'll be 74. Jesus. And it will happen just before we do the 500th live stream. So I sold a bunch of my guitars because I'm getting old and I don't want to die with all of them. And however, I also bought a couple guitars. So 2 of the guitars I bought have either been sold again or are for sale. And but I also was able to order a guitar from this company, Pre-War Guitar Company, that makes really beautiful reproductions of pre-World War II Martins. And I just heard from them today that my guitar is going to be probably built in April and shipped out in May, which is so cool. I'm really looking forward to it. My buddy Danny Gotham has one of their guitars, and it is just mind-blowing. And a billion people are playing their guitars. Jackson Browne and Brian Sutton and Tommy Emmanuel and you name it. Everybody's raving about them. And I want to rave about them too. I played Danny's and I loved it, which is why I ordered one. So next up is an instrumental. This is a little known jazz. It's a jazz non-standard. It's in the Real Book, and the Real Book was original, which is, for those of you who don't know, the Real Book is the definitive fake book where musicians go on a gig and they're going to play jazz standards, and they have to have a book that has really simple charts that just have the chords and the melody, and then they can fake it, and so they call those fake books. But the students at Berklee back in the 60s or 70s who put this book together called it the Real Book as a play on the term fake book. And it has become the Real Book. When I lived in Australia, I would go out to a club and there'd be a jazz combo playing there, and it was like everybody, you know, the guy calling the tunes wouldn't call the name of the tune. He'd say, page 57, you know, and then they'd all launch into the tune. So the Real Book is written by these young lions at Berklee Music School, and one of them was Steve Swallow, and he wrote this tune, which is beautiful. I learned it originally from John Carlini, my guitar mentor. So I will try to play it for you with the emphasis on try. It's called Falling Grace. Boy, we're going bad here. Da, da, da. Sorry. Falling Grace. So sorry about all that crashing and burning in there. That's a hard one to improvise on. But it's good to challenge yourself. And that's what I did. So let me see if I'm missing anybody here. It looks like the usual suspects and then some. Kathy Craw is here, and Jen Lloyd. Hi, Jen. I see these pictures of you, and another, and I'm having another name collapse here. Our friend from Colorado Roots Music Camp, whose name I should know backward and forward, traipsing around the Southwest in beautiful locations. And that's it. Okay, so one more for you, and this one comes from a great songwriter and piano player, Dave Frischberg. And it is, it's like a musician's in-joke all the way through, but you can get it even if you're not a musician. And my in-joke is the name of the tune is Sideman, and so it's about being a sideman, somebody who can just sit in on anything and play. And my inside joke with myself is that my best key to play it in ended up being D flat, which is the hardest key to play the guitar in, I think. And instead of just capoing and playing out of the C position, I said, okay, if I'm going to be a sideman, I better play it in D flat. So this is what we do. I want to be a sideman, just an ordinary sideman. Go along for the ride, man, responsibility free. I want to fill behind the vocals, double on flute, and jam on the blues. I want to go and join the local and buy a dark suit and start paying dues. I want to maintain my book in perfect numbered order. I want to listen to Lester Young on my MP3 recorder. I want to play while the people dance. I want to press my own coat and pants. I want to ask for an advance. I want to be a sideman. Let's see how we do here. Be a sideman, just a highly qualified man, a real professional pride man. Old, no, it's not irresponsible. Something me. You know, I can cut whatever comes up. I can fake and transpose, and I won't make a fuss. I want to set the vibes and drums up and sight read the shows and sleep on the bus. I want to spend all my time with music and musicians. I want to sneak out and grab a smoke on the intermissions. I want to play, sleep in the afternoons and let the leader call all the tunes. I want to be young, I want to have fun, I want to be a side man. I wanna work for a superstar. I wanna hang in the hotel bar. I wanna be young and have fun. I wanna be a side man. Sideman by Dave Frishberg, and that's the music that was on my set list. Among the things on my set list during the Uh-Ohs from 2000 to 2010. So I have a couple more of these decades to get through. The current one is short, but I'll think of something. And in the meantime, I will be back on Wednesday. That will not be a decade concert. It'll just be a regular concert. And tune in and hear Cozy tomorrow morning if you have a chance at 10:30. And then she's going to be on the road for a lot of February. So if you want to hear her, you better hear her now. You can always go back and listen to some of the older ones too. So since we're jazzing it up, we'll do a jazzy mantra, you know. Be happy, be healthy, be brave, and be calm. Be kind, it's a snap. And if you get cranky, take a nap. If you get cranky, you know what to do. Take a nap like Charlie the dog is doing here. Thank you for joining me. I love you guys, and the beat goes on here. I'll see you soon.